In 1975, America was hit by a major problem. These cars drank oil like water. There were 5 cars, and every time the drivers filled up with gas, they would have to pay a lot of money. They were powerful, big, but insatiable iron horses. Today, we'll get to know the cars of those hungry wolves. Dear viewers, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your support. Number 5, 1975 Cadillac Elorado fuel efficiency. 8 to 10 miles per gallon. Very thirsty. Engine, powered by a massive 500 cubic inch, 8.2 liters, V8 engine, delivering smooth but gas-guzzling performance. Luxury features, loaded with premium leather seats, power windows, air conditioning, and a plush, spacious interior designed for ultimate comfort. Why it disappeared? The Eldorado's huge size and poor fuel economy became less practical after the 1973 oil crisis. Rising fuel prices and stricter emissions rules made these giant luxury coupes hard to justify for buyers. Known issues: the big engine, while powerful, was costly to maintain and often consumed excessive amounts of oil and gas, frustrating many owners. Legacy: despite its flaws, the Eldorado remains a symbol of American luxury and extravagance in the 1970s, a true land yacht that still commands respect among classic car collectors. Number 4, 1975 Pontiac Ventura. The Pontiac Ventura was part of GM's X-Body platform, shared with cars like the Chevrolet Nova, Buick Apollo, and Oldsmobile Omega. It was Pontiac's attempt to provide a compact, affordable vehicle during a decade defined by rising gas prices, smog regulations, and economic uncertainty. Base engine, 231 cubic inches, 3.8 liters, V6, borrowed from Buick. Notoriously underpowered, especially for a car marketed as a sporty compact, fuel economy was poor, delivering roughly 12 to 15 miles per gallon in real-world conditions. 350 cubic inches, 5.7 liters, V8, offered more power but made fuel consumption even worse, especially with mid-70s emissions equipment choking performance. Result? Neither engine option struck the right balance. The V6 was slow, and the V8 was thirsty. Exterior styling had Pontiac flair, stacked headlights, signature grille. Interior quality was basic, with minimal trim upgrades over the Nova, available in 2-door coupe and 4-door sedan versions. Dashboard and controls were considered dated even by 1975 standards. Blems and criticism. Gas guzzler, ironic for a car in the compact category. Rust issues plagued models in northern climates. Build quality was inconsistent, with panel alignment and interior trim often subpar. Many felt it was just a rebadged Chevy Nova with a higher price tag. Unlike its F-body cousin, the Firebird, the Ventura never achieved pop culture fame. It lived in the shadows, often seen as the car people bought when they couldn't afford a Le Mans or Grand Prix. By the late 1970s, the Ventura name was retired in favor of the Pontiac Phoenix, another compact that also struggled. It was clear Pontiac couldn't find the right formula in this size class. The 1975 Ventura was a missed opportunity. It didn't handle well enough to be sporty, and it wasn't efficient enough to be practical. Today, it's mostly forgotten, except by collectors of oddball or unloved GM iron. Number 3, 1975 Ford Maverick. Originally introduced in 1970 as a response to growing demand for compact, affordable vehicles during the rise of imports like the VW Beetle and Datsun 510. Built on the aging Ford Falcon platform, but marketed as a fresh and sporty compact for younger buyers. By 1975, it was no longer a new idea and was showing signs of outdated engineering. Still sported a classic fastback design, but by 1975, It looked dated compared to boxier and more refined competitors. Interiors were Spartan, no frills, vinyl seats, minimal gauges. Some models came with a luxury trim package, LDO, but even those felt budget-conscious. 100Q in 3.3 liters, inline-six, base engine, underpowered but reliable. 50Q in 4.1 liters, inline-six, slightly better performance but still sluggish. 302 cubic inches, 5.0 liters, VI8, added muscle but was choked by emissions equipment, leading to poor performance. Oil leaks, persistent around valve covers, rear main seal, and timing cover. Smoking engines, especially the i6 models as they aged. This was due to worn piston rings and valve seals. Overheating issues, especially in V8 models with poorly maintained cooling systems. Rust, a notorious problem in the floor pans, trunk, and rear wheel wells. Sluggish acceleration, even with the V8, emissions tuning limited output to about 140 horsepower. Brakes, front discs were optional, and base models still used drums all around. Handling, soft suspension, vague steering, and heavy front end made it a handful in corners. 6 models, approximately 18 to 22 miles per gallon. V8 models, approximately 12 to 15 miles per gallon, depending on driving style. Buyers liked its low price and simplicity. But by 1975, it lacked innovation, especially as rivals like the Chevy Nova, Dodge Dart, and even Japanese imports evolved. Fuel crisis made buyers wary of V8 Mavericks, replaced by the more modern Ford Fairmont in 1978. Changing regulations, emissions, crash standards made the old platform expensive to update. It became known as a cheap car, and Ford wanted a fresher image for the compact segment. Some early Mavericks were shipped with no passenger side mirror to save cost. The Grabber edition, sporty trim with decals and spoilers, existed until 1975, but added no real performance. In Brazil, the Maverick continued production until 1979 and had more trim options. The Maverick was a band-aid fix for a growing problem. By 1975, it was just a slow, leaky memory of Ford's past. Number 2, 1975 Oldsmobile Cutless Supreme. The Oldsmobile Cutless Supreme was one of the most popular mid-size personal luxury cars of the 1970s. It was well known for its balance of comfort, style, and power. The 1975 model year represented the middle of the third generation, 1973 to 1977, and the Cutless Supreme was positioned as a premium trim of the Cutless lineup, often competing against other GM mid-size coupes and sedans like the Chevrolet Monte Carlo and Pontiac Grand Prix. The 265 V8 was the smallest and least powerful, often criticized for lack of punch. The 355 V8 was the most common and balanced engine, offering solid performance for everyday driving. The 450 V8 was the biggest and most powerful option, intended for buyers who wanted muscle car performance in a luxury coupe body. What made the 455 V8 special? It had a big displacement, 7.5 liters, producing respectable horsepower and torque figures for its day. The engine provided strong acceleration and towing capability, which appealed to muscle car enthusiasts and drivers wanting a powerful cruiser. The biggest drawback was oil consumption. The 455 engines often burned oil at a high rate, up to 1 liter per 1,000 miles, or even more in some cases. This was due to piston ring design and engine wear, causing oil to seep into the combustion chamber. The high oil consumption meant owners needed to frequently check and top up oil levels, which was inconvenient and costly. This issue also led to more engine maintenance, including piston ring replacements or rebuilds, which could be expensive. Additionally, 1975 saw stricter emissions regulations and a shift to unleaded gasoline, which affected engine tuning and performance. The engines became less powerful compared to earlier muscle car years. Fuel economy was also poor, especially with the 455 V8, making the car less attractive during the 1970s energy crisis. Despite the engine issues, the Cutless Supreme remained popular for its comfortable ride, upscale interior options, vinyl roofs, bucket seats, wood grain trim, and classic styling. It was often seen as a more affordable alternative to full-sized luxury cars, while still offering plenty of power. The 1975 Oldsmobile Cutless Supreme combined muscle car power with luxury appeal, but its biggest V8 came with a costly drawback: voracious oil consumption that tarnished its reputation and added to maintenance headaches. Number 1. 1975 AMC Hornet. The AMC Hornet was introduced in 1970 as American Motors Corporation's answer to the growing compact car market, dominated by imports and the Big Three's small models. It was designed as a practical, affordable, and versatile car that came in several body styles: two-door coupe, four-door sedan, and station wagon. The Hornet was praised for its solid construction and decent handling for its class. It offered a reasonably spacious interior despite its compact size. It was one of AMC's best-selling models through the early 1970s. Engine options focused on inline-six motors, which balanced fuel economy and power oil consumption. The main headache for many Hornet owners was high oil consumption. Poor valve seals wore out quickly, leading to oil leaking into the combustion chambers and burning off. The engine's oil lines and seals, often made with less durable materials, deteriorated, causing leaks and messy engine bays. These oil-related issues meant owners had to be vigilant about maintenance and oil levels, or risk engine damage. By 1975, competition from other compact cars, like Ford Pinto, Chevrolet Vega, and increasing fuel economy standards put pressure on AMC to improve reliability and performance. Challenges the Hornet struggled with. Despite its flaws, the Hornet played an important role for AMC, helping the company survive a turbulent era in the U.S. auto industry. It was a workhorse for many families and even adapted into the AMC Gremlin and later models. However, the oil problems hurt its reputation among consumers who expected better durability. The 1975 AMC Hornet was a practical and affordable compact car that made a splash, until its thirsty engine and oil leaks kept owners constantly topping off the dipstick.